Terence Crawford warns Errol Spence, if he get out of line, 8 days out. If he gets out of line, Terence Crawford warned Errol Spence at their press conference that if he gets out of line, that he swear to God, right? Terence Bud Crawford, as he continues to prepare for this fight with Errol Spence Jr. More videos being released of Bud. Bud's looking sharp, looking strong, looking fast. I think one thing a lot of people are not talking about when we're looking at this fight is the speed difference. It's not one clear advantage that Spence have over Terence Crawford other than size. And size isn't always an advantage, right? It's just not. It's not always an advantage. But Errol Spence don't have no clear advantages over this guy. He don't have the glaring, obvious speed, strength. We don't even know about the strength. The strength is debatable. The power is debatable, right? Now, the durability, one would imagine he has that over Crawford, right? But just because he's durable don't mean that, a guy like Crawford is going to quit, right? I think the speed, though, is going to be the huge factor in this fight. A factor that people's kind of just skating over. A factor that people just, because I think Terence Crawford,
on the pound for pound list, you push yourself.
Bomac going in. I think that the speed advantage is going to be too great for Errol Spence in this fight. Not to mention everything else, right? I've seen a lot of guys pretty upset at the fact that the video I did about Errol Spence and Derrick James working on certain things that Crawford does well, which is the hook, the uppercut hook combo that he used on Average. It seemed like they've been working on it, and fans seem to be pretty upset when you bring up things like that. They don't really take it too well, right? They try to attack you personally. They try to say you're biased and all this other stuff. Like, bro, explain it. He's in camp. He's working at the media workout. He's working on things, right? But bro, the fight's next week, dog. If he was working on that, that should have been finished and completed 2 weeks ago. He should have mastered defending that if it happens in a fight 2 weeks ago, bro. That should have been done. But he didn't, bro. He didn't. The open media workout, there's not too much you can take away from those, right? The fighters seem to just kind of just go into the motions. We see what type of shape they're in, things of that nature, right? Yeah, you can't take too much away from the media workouts. Errol Spence, in my opinion, looked good, right? He looked good. He looked strong. And he just looked consistent. But wait, what's this? Keith Thurman, it says, Keith Thurman explains why he likes Terence Crawford to win, and Errol Spence has never seen an athletic body like himself or Crawford. That's deep. Yeah, I mean, I've been said this, but let's see what Keith got to say now. Let's see. This is something new. Salute to Fight Hype and salute to According to Fox.
It's hard to get into a discussion and not like Terence Crawford. That's my opening statement, and I'm going to explain it. He brings speed. He brings agility,
Didn't I just say? The speed. Why is everybody forgetting about the speed in this fight, bro? We saw how much faster Sean Porter was than Spence. Crawford and Sean Porter. Crawford was faster than Sean, right? Crawford was able to negate whatever Sean was doing until he decided to get Sean up out of there. But Errol Spence was struggling to really surpass and take it to the next gear against Sean Porter. He just really couldn't do it. It was neck and neck. But once Terence Crawford caught wind of that fight with Sean Porter, hey man, you got to get going, bud. What? Yeah, you might be down. What? All right. Shook his head. All right, he wouldn't even listen to nobody else. All right, I know what to do. Boom, got him up out of there. Turns it up another gear, bro. So, yeah.
Something that I believe Spence has never seen. I always said Spence has not seen an athletic boxer like Crawford or Thurman.
Facts.
Period. It's not, can he beat these guys? He's never seen them. So, once again, The boy's athletic. He's a switch hitter. Lefty, righty, lefty, righty. He can do what he wants when he wants.
Facts.
And that's the debate here.
Facts. See, Keith, he's really good analytically. And it's not just because he's kind of leaning towards Crawford. This is really what I see as well. Crawford can do this. He can do that. He can almost do what he wants in there. He's a strong guy mentally. He's a very disciplined guy. He's checking literally all the fucking boxes, bro. The only thing he's missing is the big quote-unquote marquee names, but he got some names on his resume, but, you know, they got downplayed, whatever.
Can a solid fighter like Spence, who, when you talk about him, there's not a lot to be said. He was an Olympian. He's dominated the welterweight division. He has great defense, a fantastic jab, and can work the body well. But when you stack these attributes, they only reach so high. As you continue to talk about Crawford, it seems like he has more.
There we go. See? And what did I say? That I always felt like I need to see more from Spence, bro. That I felt like I need to see more. But with Crawford, I felt like I seen quite a bit from Crawford. He told Errol Spence, don't get out of line. Hey, Keith Thurman is spot on. He hasn't been in there with nobody crafty like Crawford. He hasn't been in there with nobody that's countering like Crawford. He ain't been in there with nobody that's knocking out dudes like Crawford. Right? He ain't been in there with nobody like that at all. There has a longer reach on top of everything else. Right? Crawford has a reach advantage in this fight. Uphill battle for Errol the True Big Fish Spence Jr. I don't care what nobody say. I like the Big Fish, man. So when his fans and the new guys that come to the channel, they may be hearing this. Oh, man, this guy just biased. Or you go to these other channels, you hear what you want to hear, bro. Or you go to one of those channels that's try to be a little bit diplomatic, that don't want to hurt nobody's feelings and want to say it's 50-50. But you come over here, I'm going to tell you straight like it is, bro. Terence Crawford wins this fight within 10 rounds. I said within 10 rounds. It ain't going past 10. I don't see this fight going past 10 rounds. Terence Crawford just has too much that he's going to be able to do to this guy. Stylistically, I felt Sean Porter was a tougher fight. Because Sean Porter's a tough guy as well. He's a durable guy as well. And Crawford was able to break him. Right? I don't want to say break him like he broke him like Bane, Batman, but he be able to stop stop the bulldozer Sean Porter, right? Stop. Nobody else done it, but we downplay it and say Porter's out the door. But I agree with Keith. Crawford just seems like he has more. I feel like I need to see more from Errol Spence. We got 8 days. 8 days from me doing this video, right?
Terence Crawford. That's my opening statement. And I'm going to explain it. He brings speed.
Speed. The first thing Keith Thurman said, speed. That's one thing not too many people is talking about when we talk about this fight. Speed. The speed advantage. And this is one of those fights where I feel like Crawford really won it and he's going to really show up. We may see the best version of Terence Crawford we've seen. A lot of those other fights, you know, guys kind of just go with the motions. It's not a fight I really want, but I got to do it anyway. But this fight, he may show up and show out this fight, man. So Errol Spence has to be on his A game, bro. Errol Spence got to be on his A game. Errol Spence got to be willing to take one to give one. Errol Spence might get hit more times than he has ever got hit in any fight.
To your right, Andre said with the sporting news. My question is, you and Errol have both talked about this being a very competitive fight. Would you be disappointed if it was very one-sided on your behalf? Because it seems like you both want this to be a war of some sort.
Not at all. If I go in there and win in the first round, I wouldn't be disappointed because I don't get paid for overtime.
See, it's Errol Spence that's talking about war. war, breaking his will and war. See, he don't know he can go out there and outbox Bud. He don't know if he can go out there and just knock out Bud. So what he's got to do is manipulate the situation to put into the universe that we're going to go into this war. But Terence Crawford is smart enough to fighter, in my opinion, to know that this is what they want. But I'm not going to give it to him. He's going to have to make it a war. Because I'm about to outbox this dude's socks off all night. I think Terence Crawford is going to use a lot of his speed and agility in this fight. We haven't seen him do too much of that since he's been a welterweight, almost like he's been trying to prove a point that he's strong enough to compete with these bigger guys. But I think in this particular fight, he may get on the back foot, use a lot of speed, and give Errol Spence a lot of different things to worry about. Now it says here, he has never faced a slick boxer. Former boxing contender Ross Thompson talks about the deficiencies that he sees in Spence, and with Derek James in group chat, he made him upset. Wow. Let's see. Salute to hiphopisreal.com. Check it. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Bud against Spence, you got it going 12?
Yeah, I'll say it probably will go 12.
Okay.
You know. But, Spence could catch him. So,
Okay.
So if it was a knockout, hey, Spence might catch him, or Crawford actually might walk Spence into one of those traps. Because Spence, like I told Derek James, I was telling him on the little group chat we was on, he was getting mad at me or whatever. Because he think, just because we boys, what I'm supposed to say, his guy going, no. I said, listen, he got to work on moving his head.
Wow. Errol Spence got to work on moving his head. Why does he got to work on so many different things, bro? Work on moving his head. Right? And this is something I seen a video recently. Somebody said Derek James got asked about the whole moving the head thing. And asked about moving his head, right? And Derek James seemed to have gotten upset when the guy asked the question about moving his head. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Like, Spence don't really move his head.
Okay, see what you're saying.
Like, Spence, he come high guard, he work his jab, he got all the fundamentals down pat. But I don't never really see him use upper body movement. I never see him, you know what I'm saying? I never like react. Because the thing is, as a boxer, if you got great reflexes, somebody, you're going to react.
Right.
Okay. If you I just like Triple G the same way.
Who is this guy? His name is Ross Thompson. He's a former boxing contender. He's a former boxer, so he knows what he's talking about. But didn't I say Errol Spence is like the black Golovkin? The black Triple G, they're very similar.
I would say, and I never really noticed.
Yeah, but I guess that's his style.
Yeah, it's their style, but Derek James is a good enough trainer and a knowledgeable enough guy to understand. I don't know. For me, I would be like, look, man, we got to work on them head movement because you're fighting a different guy. Like, he's doing all that with the guys he fought, but you got to think, Spence hasn't really fought a guy who slick. And Crawford is more slick than he is tough. So Crawford a thinking fighter. He got a lot of ability. So he's a more guy who, he'll try to set you up, situation like that. So I think Spence, he needs to work on throwing feints.
Damn. He right.
I don't know. For me, I would be like, look, man, we got to work on them head movement because you're fighting a different guy. Like, he's doing all that with.
See, and he's right, because this is why I've been saying Errol Spence got to do something different, bro. I don't think that robotic zoop. I don't think it's gonna work, bro. I don't think it's gonna work, bro. And I say this as a Spence fan, right? I got Crawford winning the fight. I'm a Crawford fan, but I'm a Spence fan too. And I say this as a Spence fan. He's gonna have to do something different. He's gonna have to do something more. He's gonna have to throw Crawford off. He's gonna have to make Crawford uncomfortable.
With the guys he fought, but you got to think, Spence hasn't really fought a guy who slick. And Crawford is more slick than he is tough. So Crawford a thinking fighter. He got a lot of ability. So he's a more guy who, he'll try to set you up, situation like that. So I think Spence, he needs to work on throwing feints.
Okay.
Because he don't really throw. I never see him throw feints. He basic, like he needs to change his little style up a little bit, work on it. He got a good jab. He got good everything. Like, he got good arsenal of punches, but End of the day, I think Spence, he need to work on the feints and then the head movement, you know.
I think it's a little too late in the game, though.
Other than that, you know, he's doing everything right, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like that one, everybody got little weaknesses that could get exposed.
OG was on point, man, in my opinion. I agree, man. That's what I see. I think the guys that's really honest about it will say the same. I'm not saying this as a dude that, oh, I hate Spence. I want to see him bleed. I want to see him lose. No. It's not how I get down. I see it as a style difference. I see it as Errol Spence ain't been in there with nobody like that, bro. And Terence Crawford is one of the best. Not to mention, not only is he a good boxer, he could punch and shit. So it's a lot of different things Spence has to worry about. Not to mention the uppercut hook that he seemed to have lapses with Derrick James. We're gonna see if they figured it out by the time the fight happens. But Terence Bud Crawford, man, tells Errol Spence Jr., man, don't get out of line, bro. Tells Errol Spence, don't get out of line. Don't get out of line. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.